إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونتوب إليه ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له. وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له. وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله وصفيه وخلقه وحبيبه الذي بلغ الرسالة وأدى الأمانة ونصح الأمة وكشف الله تعالى به الغمة وجاهد في سبيل الله حتى أتاه اليقين. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. ثم أما بعد، أوصيكم ونفسي بتقوى الله. حاسبوا أنفسكم قبل أن تحاسبوا. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. ثم أما بعد. Alhamdulillah, we thank and praise Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the Lord of the worlds. And I bear witness that there is none worthy of worship except Him. And I bear witness that His Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is the final and last prophet of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Amma ba'd. I'm going to start a series of khutbahs that I will give, and they will be inshallah discussing different issues that a lot of us may have, or different things that affect us in our lives. And during Ramadan, it will be focused more about Ramadan. Amma ba'd. Brothers and sisters, I want you to imagine this for a moment. Picture yourself standing at a grave. The soil is fresh and the people around you are crying. You look down and you see a name engraved on the tombstone, your mother's name or your father's name. You fall to your knees and you reach out to touch the stone, but it is cold. You call out to your parents, Mom, Dad, Mama, Baba. You reach out to touch the stone, but it's cold, and there is no response. And in that moment, the weight of regret crashes down on you. You remember every time you ignored their calls, every time they asked for your time, but you were too busy, every time you answered them with annoyance. Now they are gone, and you would give everything, your wealth, your success, even your own life, for just one more hug, just one more chance to say, I love you, but it's too late. Brothers and sisters, this day is coming for all of us. But the question is, will we realize the value of our parents before it's too late? And I speak to myself first and foremost. As well, this is a message for all of us. All of us can do better to improve. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commands us in the Quran, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, وَقَضَى رَبُّكَ أَلَّا تَعْبُدُوا إِلَّا إِيَّاهُ وَبِالْوَالِدَيْنِ إِحْسَانًا إِمَّا يَبْلُغَنَّ عِنْدَكَ الْكِبَرَ أَحَدُهُمَا أَوْ كِلَاهُمَا فَلَا تَقُلْ لَهُمَا أُفٍّ وَلَا تَنْهَرْهُمَا وَقُلْ لَهُمَا قَوْلًا كَرِيمًا. And your Lord has decreed that you not worship except Him, and to parents good treatment, whether one or both of them reach old age while with you. Do not even say uff to them, and do not repel them, but speak to them in a noble word. Subhanallah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the creator, the master of all of the worlds and the heavens and the earth, He places obedience to parents immediately after worshiping Him. This is how serious it is. To the point where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala orders you to not worship any other besides Him, and He tells you, do not disrespect your parents. And that's not just said once in the Quran, it's said multiple times in the Quran. There are multiple hadith that talk about this. Yet how do we treat them? When they ask for something, when they ask us for something, we sigh in frustration. When they try to talk to us, we ignore them or give them short answers. And when they ask us for something, we tell them, oh my God, what does this woman want again? Or what does this man want again? This is not how we're supposed to say, to the point where even making the sound uff is a sin. Or whenever they ask for our time, we tell them بعدين بعدين يا ماما بعدين بسويها بعدين مش فاضي, I'll do it later. But later never comes. A mother's love, there was once a mother who loved her son more than anything. She sacrificed everything for him, her sleep, her health, her dreams, just to give him a better life. And what parent doesn't want their children to have a better life? Every day, she would wake up early, prepare his food, and wait for him to come home. But as he grew older, he became distant. He would spend hours with his friends, glued to his phone, always too busy to talk. And one day, his mother fell sick. The doctor said that she didn't have much time left. So she asked him, son, will you sit with me? He replied, أنا مشغول, I'm busy, mom, maybe later. That night, he got the bad news that his mother passed away. And when he came home, there was no warm voice to greet him, no one waiting at the door, just silence. Nobody to tell them Assalamu alaikum or ask them how their day was. Just silence. He ran to her room and he felt his knees and cried, Mom, I'm here now. Please wake up. I still need to talk to you. But she was gone. Brothers and sisters, how many of us are living this story right now? How many of us have parents waiting at home, longing for a simple conversation, longing for a few minutes of our time, but we are too distracted to give it to them? One day that door will close forever. And when it does, your cries will not bring them back. And also another story that I heard during the winter break. I was attending a youth conference and I listened to the topic of that night was عقوق الوالدين and بر الوالدين, talking about the parents. And the story I'm going to share with y'all, some of y'all may have heard it, but some of you may have not. So I'm going to share it. It's very, very sad story. So the person that was giving the lecture, he was telling us that he one time went to a janazah, a funeral. And they went to the masjid, they prayed the salatul janazah, and then they took this person to the grave. And as they were lowering this man into the grave, there was one person that was just crying. And I'm not saying like crying to whenever, if somebody passes away in your family, not that type of crying. Even more crying, like crying you have never seen before. So a few days passed by, and the brother that's giving us the lecture, he goes up to approach this man that was crying so hard. And he asks him, brother, why are you crying? Why? We went to the janazah the other day, the funeral, and we saw you crying. Why were you crying? And what did he say? He said, that person that passed away was my father. And the last thing I said to him before he died was, I hate you. Imagine that. The last thing you say to your parents is, I hate you. And this was very heartbreaking story. So even our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the strongest of men, he cried whenever he visited his mother's grave. And the Sahaba asked him, Ya Rasulullah, O Messenger of Allah, why are you crying? He said, this is the grave of my mother. I asked Allah to allow me to pray for her, but He did not permit me, and my heart wept for her. The Prophet ﷺ lost his mother when he was just 6 years old. He was an orphan. He lost his mother when he was 6 years old. Do you know what he would have given for just one moment with her? But we still have our parents, and yet we act like they will live forever. Brothers and sisters, don't wait until their grave is the only place you can visit them. Spend time with them today. Sit with them. Ask them how their day was. Just put away your phone that you're spending 24 hours on a day. Just talk. Ask them how their day was. Tell them that you love them. These words will mean the world to them. And also make dua for them. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, إذا مات الإنسان انقطع عنه عمله إلا من ثلاث: صدقة جارية، أو علم ينتفع به، أو ولد صالح يدعو له. When a person dies, all their deeds end except for three. Number one, an ongoing charity, beneficial knowledge, or a righteous child who prays for them. Are you that righteous child? Do you want to be the one who sends the light to their grave? Inshallah, I will end with this. A father once stood at his son's funeral. He placed his shaking hand on the coffin and whispered, Ya bunay, oh my son, you were always so busy. You never had time for me. Now I will never hear your voice again. He walked away, this father walked away, tears streaming down his face. He thought he had years left with his son, but he did not get any second chances. Brothers and sisters, some of us will bury our parents and some of us will be buried before them. So don't wait until regret is all you have left. Ya ikhwan, if your parents are still alive, don't take them for granted, which I'm pretty sure they all are. Sit with them, listen to their stories, serve them with love, make them smile, because one day you will give anything, just anything, for one moment with them. Go home today, inshallah, and hug your parents and tell them that you love them. After this khutbah, send them a message saying that you love them. Don't let regret be the only thing that you have left. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us the ability to cherish our parents while they are with us. May He forgive us for our shortcomings and make us among those who serve their parents with love and kindness. And may He reunite us with them in Jannatul Firdaus. أقول ما تسمعون وأستغفر الله العظيم لي ولكم فاستغفروه إنه هو التواب الرحيم. الحمد لله الواحد الأحد الصمد الذي لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد ثم أما بعد. Before I end this khutbah, I would just like to make a few announcements. Number one is that for the brothers, I need help giving the khutbah. I can't be the only one giving it every single week. My voice gets tired. I already have to focus on the MSA and I have to as well focus on giving khutbahs. So please, and this is also a chance. Besides, you're speaking in front of 10 people. Don't be afraid to just give up and give a khutbah. Even if it's just one hadith or one ayah. Please do it. And the second reminder is that inshallah our next MSA meeting will be February 12th. And also announcement that just happened before the khutbah is that yesterday we discussed after the meeting, we had a board meeting and we discussed going on a field trip to the Dallas Art Museum during school time. So that way we can go to the Dallas Art Museum and look at the Islamic art exhibit. So inshallah that is approved. So tell your friends and let them know about it. Inshallah in our next meeting we will discuss it. For the board members we'll discuss how we're going to do it inshallah. اللهم لا تدع لنا ذنبا إلا غفرته ولا هما إلا فرجته ولا دينا إلا قضيته ولا مريضا إلا شفيته. اللهم اغفر لإخواننا الذين سبقونا بالإيمان ولا تجعل في قلوبنا غلا للذين آمنوا ربنا إنك رؤوف رحيم. اللهم آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. اللهم بلغنا رمضان. اللهم بلغنا رمضان. اللهم بلغنا رمضان. اللهم إنا نسألك بأسمائك الحسنى وصفاتك العلى يا ذا الجلال والإكرام. اللهم انصر إخواننا المستضعفين في فلسطين. اللهم انصرهم نصرا عزيزا وافتح لهم فتحا مبينا قريبا يا رب العالمين. اللهم عليك بعدوهم وعدوك فإنهم لا يعجزونك. اللهم انتقم منهم أجمعين. اللهم كن لأهلنا المستضعفين. اللهم كن لأهلنا المستضعفين من عبادك الصالحين في كل مكان يذكر فيها اسمك يا رب العالمين. يا عباد الله إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون اذكروا الله العظيم يذكركم واشكروه على نعمه يزدكم ولذكر الله أكبر والله يعلم ما تصنعون اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على سيدنا وحبيبنا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين ومن تبعهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين وآخر دعوانا أن الحمد لله رب العالمين وأنت يا مقيم الصلاة أقيم الصلاة الله أكبر الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين وقضى ربك ألا تعبدوا إلا إياه وبالوالدين إحسانا إما يبلغن عندك الكبر أحدهما أو كلاهما فلا تقل لهما أف ولا تنهرهما وقل لهما قولا كريما واخفض لهما جناح الذل من الرحمة وقل رب ارحمهما كما ربياني صغيرا الله الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين بسم الله. أرأيت الذي يكذب بالدين فذلك الذي يدع اليتيم ولا يحض على طعام المسكين فويل للمصلين الذين هم عن صلاتهم ساهون الذين هم يراءون ويمنعون الماعون الله أكبر